Hello and welcome to our first part of our free video series on how to become your own matchmaker. I am Jacqueline Nichols, the creator and founder of Intuitive Matchmaking. I first and foremost want to thank you. Thank you for caring enough about yourself to learn a little bit more, caring enough to say, I deserve more, caring enough to become educated and informed on how you can change and grow in the situation that you are living with right now so that it is different for the future. What I really want to share with you is to raise your self-esteem, raise your deserve level, give you the tools, give you the insight that is going to make that shift in your life, that is going to make it so you can look at life differently. The amount of people that I've been blessed to work with throughout my entire spiritual career and my matchmaking career has shown me how much people don't realize. They're worth so much more than they could ever imagine. The people that take the time to do the work that we provide are the ones that suddenly have everything shift in their life. From family, from home life, for work, and their personal relationship life makes the change. It's not always easy to put yourself in these raw emotions, but I will promise you, when you do the work, the results do pay off. What's amazing is that so many people are wondering why they're single. So with our video series, our focus is to create opportunities, to give you some aha moments, chances for you to discover so much more about yourself and about the person that you're dating. So let's begin with emotional companionship. This is a very delicate topic. It's something that people don't quite understand or realize what they're projecting out and how they're really not making room for somebody new. I want you to think about things in your life that are running through your thoughts. Yes, we have the busyness of work, and if you have children, you've got that. You've got your health, you've got family. But what is it that's holding you back on your day-to-day? Is there maybe a feeling of not getting over an ex? Maybe you have to deal with your ex because of the fact that you guys are both co-parents. Maybe the ex is completely absent and there's frustration there. Maybe you've been single for so long, you don't know what it's like to be in a relationship. Or maybe you've had so many relationships one after another that you don't know yourself. The important part is we need to discover what is your emotional companionship. If you're sitting and having a date with somebody, what topics are you going to be bringing up? What are you thinking about? If you start talking about your ex, it's like you invited your ex to the table. And there's really not room for all three of you at that table. If you talk about your weight, or you're uncomfortable in your clothes and you just don't feel like things fit right, then it's almost like you're sitting there with the extra weight taking up that third chair. And then you don't feel sexy, you don't feel beautiful, you don't feel powerful. What you want to think about are things that are distracting you from being you. So you've got the emotional companionship, the things that you kind of carry around with you, almost like a luggage. Now, I also want to talk to you about what are some of the things that in your life you think about from your childhood or past relationships. Did somebody ever tell you that you were not beautiful or handsome? Did everyone say that you won't aspire to more? Did somebody hurt you badly? If you were cheated on, that's a huge level of betrayal, huge level of rejection. Yes, it doesn't mean that next relationship you'll be cheated on, but what did that do to you? What did that make you think about? As much as, of course, the other person chose the act, how did you respond to that? How do you deal with stress? How do you deal when somebody hurts you emotionally and physically? Someone that you learn you no longer can trust. That is emotional companionship that stays. And when you give yourself permission to not necessarily beat yourself up anymore, but give yourself permission to accept that that chapter in your life has closed. It's kind of like having a big, thick book. And at the end of that book, you flip it over and you can hear that thud sound. And you just put that one back on the shelf and get the next novel in the series. It's time for you to decide who are you today. When I work with clients, so often they'll come in with an attitude of all the wonderful things that they have to offer. And so they can't understand why they're single because they're open to dating, they're open to meeting new people. But really what I find that blocks them so often is their own deserve level. They think their confidence is coming across strong, but what happens is when you have that emotional companionship that is blocking you and making you question things in the inner part of your thoughts, what ends up happening is it makes you judge the other person so much more. A lot of times people aren't even judging themselves. They judge the other person. They judge the person that maybe winked at them on an online site, the cute guy that was at the restaurant that you were curious about, the sweet gal that was at the grocery store that you're curious about. It's all of those people that immediately people will start to judge. Oh, I noticed that they ordered a couple drinks. Maybe they drink too much. Oh, I really don't like bald guys, so I'm not going to talk to him. Well, there's so many reasons we can say no, but you have to think about how many times you have not given somebody a chance because you took them at such a quick value of where they were right then. What is it that you are doing? What are you projecting? What are you allowing and what are you thinking about when you are thinking about actually dating? Think about how often you think about yourself in the equation and how often you think about the other person. Most of the people I work with are pretty remarkable people, and they think that they just haven't met the right person. I do believe it's true, yes, they haven't met the right person, or they might have missed a chance that came by, but the most important part is, would they even notice it if the person arrived? You have to ask yourself that. Would you notice if the person arrived and he or she was the one? Would you know and recognize them? Most people right away say, oh, of course I would. Of course, I know exactly what I want. But as a matchmaker, I've matched so many perfect couples together, and one of them or both of them completely couldn't get it. They had no concept until they went through the personal growth and they spent the time doing the homework and the assignments, and majority of the time they will say, I wish I had done the work before I started dating. I wish I had done the work before I started meeting new people, because I didn't realize how much I was in my way. So this is where I want you to stop and really think. When you talk about somebody that you meet on a date or that you've met out and about, how are you judging them? How are you deciding if they're worthy to get to know? Are you already pre-concluding that, oh, they're too old, or they're too young, or they're a little too overweight, or they have kids with them? Or do you have so many preset expectations? Sometimes the best person you're looking for might be behind a few layers of life. Life was going on before the two of you met. So it's about finding out who you're supposed to be with. It's a big question. How to get yourself out of your own way to let a new person come in. Kind of an interesting concept, but it's the perspective, it's the warmth, it's the invitation that you need to create. It's about you stepping back. It's about you really deciding, what is it worth to hold on to all these things that have hurt you, that have been unknown, and often we don't even know why we hold back. We often truly don't even get it until that breakthrough moment happens. So when you think about that emotional companionship, how much control are you trying to have? How much room do you actually have to meet somebody? Think about what you're doing. What are you doing today that would make somebody want to date you? So how do you carry yourself? How do you hold yourself? How willing are you to put yourself together? That's what's going to make a difference. When I hear about people showing up for a date in sweats or late or just exhausted from their day but not really making appropriate time to plan for it, they're preparing for failure. Their emotional companionship is to prove that the date won't work out. So that's why I share my heart with you on what other clients have struggled. Because in order to be your own matchmaker, you need to get out of your own way. You need to step above and look at yourself from another person's perspective. Why would somebody want to date you? It's important to think about these things, because as you release the doubt, the questioning, you let the real you shine through. Because the real you is really who that person's going to be with after the initial chemistry, honeymoon phase, all that exciting stuff happens. It's still the real you. Now, I know a lot of times some people also think, well, I'm just going to dump it all out on a first date. No, 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 no. It's all about bite size. Let somebody have time to process and absorb what you have to offer before you offer more. It is so important to get to that place where you, yes, you are in charge, but you're also becoming vulnerable. The only way that you can attract somebody worthy of meeting you is when you believe the other person is great too. Part of raising your deserve level is letting the other person shine through. It's about you being able to look at these people that you get to meet and see truly what they have to offer. Truly see their vulnerable heart. It's scary for both of you to put yourselves out there. And to be a sensitive person to think how they're feeling is so important. I am shocked how many times clients come back from a date. If they haven't done the personal work, they're kind of judgmental. Not really sometimes all that nice about the other person. And they're so quick to say all the things they did wrong, and maybe, they themselves might have done a couple things wrong, but really their date did everything. They were there. They could have spoken up. They could have said something more. A lady complained recently saying that the date she was on, the gentleman didn't walk her to her car and thought he was just so rude for not doing that. But you know what? Maybe the last 10 ladies didn't want a walk to the car, so he didn't know that's what she wanted. You have to teach people how to treat you. If you want someone to walk you to your car, you need to speak up. If you want a little something extra, you need to speak up, but you also have to give them the time and the patience to be able to be that person for you, but also you have to be that person for them in return. As great and wonderful as you are, and all the great things you have to offer, being humble and being human, and letting somebody learn about you and discover and put their heart on the line is not easy for both of you. So to be able to be okay with it, to be okay that you're not going to always do it right. Keep yourself engaged in the process. For our matchmaking clients, we need to work with them on a regular basis to find love, enjoy love, and keep love. What are you doing to make sure each day you're putting a little more energy into making room for somebody new? My challenge for you as we wrap up this video before you get the next one is to truly write down what it is that you think about when you've been on dates. When you're on a date with somebody, what are you thinking? Are you thinking that you don't look right in the clothes? Are you thinking you're overweight? Are you thinking that you don't like how he's eating? Are you thinking about how you don't like how she laughs? Think about your last few dates. What are some of the critiquing you did? I want you to really think about what things you're filling your head with. Are they judgmental comments about the other person? Are they judgmental comments about you? Or are they really optimistic and hopeful? Look at how you're going about your mental and emotional process. This is what is so crucial for you. These are the steps that you need to take to get yourself raw enough to be open, to let the right person come through. Not just the one you settle for, but the one that makes your heart skip a beat. The one that you know was chosen for you. The one you've been dreaming about. Take some time, think about the last few days. Think about how you can work on improving and letting go of the negative emotional companionship so there's more room, there's more space for that right person to come along. I can hardly wait to share our next video with you. So take time, pause, and enjoy. We believe in you. Raise your deserve level. And we will look forward to sharing what's new next time.